So this story was covered in Accountancy Age and Ongoing Concern. EY, formerly Ernst & Young, recently dismissed several employees for attending multiple online learning courses simultaneously. The courses were part of the firm's mandatory continuing professional education requirements. As we all know, accountants have to complete a set number of CPE hours annually to maintain their professional qualifications. And in May of this year, during the Ignite Learning Week, that sounds like such a big firm name for an event, EY offered virtual training sessions on topics like digital branding and AI. The idea was to help employees meet their CPE obligations amidst their busy work schedules. I think busy being an understatement.
And they encourage them, take as many as you can that fits around your schedule.
And some employees attempted to multitask by attending multiple sessions simultaneously to expedite learning. EY determined that this violated their internal code of conduct and global learning policies, constituting an ethical breach, and they let them go. And the dismissed employees took to the interwebs to argue and complain that they were not warned that such multitasking would lead to termination. And they contend that EY encouraged maximizing learning opportunities without specifying restrictions on simultaneous participation. I guess you could say that goes without saying, but I do feel kind of bad for these folks.
They live in a culture of multitasking, right?
Well, and they live in a culture
employee has
of
3 monitors. You got to work on so many hours. How do you get all your work done? You have to be efficient. And these employees actually are being extra efficient. Getting fired might have been too extreme.
And here's what I wonder is, how often are EY employees double billing their clients, right? You got to hit those hourly billing minimums.
If you're working on 2 clients at the same time,
right?
Maybe a script's running.
So is that unethical? Maybe EY should go through the timesheets and the logs of employee attendance and figure out, how often they're double billing their clients for the same hour, and refund their clients and terminate the staff. I don't know.
But the reason this happened is because finally there was a real fine to an accounting firm. We always joke about these ridiculous, it's a $1 million fine, $1.2 million fine to these accounting firms. Remember in 2022, the SEC fined EY $100 million because they were cheating on the ethics exams.
So now they're paying
that's
attention.
The magic number. If you want to change accounting firms' behaviors, because that's essentially what this is, they don't want to get fined. You got to fine these big firms $100 million. It's the only way to get them to change their behavior.
One of the things to think about with this CPE cheating, and this is a different thing that I actually approached the Board of Accountancy in California because I'm really passionate about mental health and had some ideas for CPE there. But I was informed that they're also looking at changes to CPE. And they've done some research of other professions and found that in accounting, with 40 hours is kind of the standard for an annual amount, that we actually have a lot of continuing education in comparison to other professions. And maybe we should move down away from that 40-hour model. And I think that would be really, really helpful. I mean, let's be honest, when you sit in an 8-hour all-day session, like I went to AICPA Engage, and I literally saw somebody sitting in a session with a pair of sunglasses on, just kicked back there sleeping, but he got his badge scanned at the beginning and the end. Well, what if you only had like 4 hours a day and you could get some sunshine and you could have lunch with someone or you could sleep in?
That's right.
Maybe people would learn and take away something.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the beauty of Earmark. It's knowledge-based. You have to prove knowledge. You can't just fall asleep because they scanned your badge at the door.
Yeah. Madman Dan says, if I can multitask doing house chores while listening to Earmark, then those EY peeps should be reinstated. Yeah. Well, there's an argument to be made that, your brain can operate separate from like all these chores that you're doing, right? And actually for me, as somebody who has ADHD, it actually helps me focus. If I just sit there in a classroom, I cannot retain the knowledge. My brain goes elsewhere. But if I'm like washing the dishes, which is my chore in the house, then I can focus. So it really all just depends on how your brain works, right?